is the nature of that title? Thus, we discussed earlier, what is our operational definition? Suppose in United States, every time we do get that sort of data set, that fact, especially girls and women, they do cast vote to Democrats, and white male, they do cast, especially from Europe, Anglo-Saxon people, they do cast vote to Republican. If that is the fact we do have, then why it's happening? What sort of meaning it attached with that particular, voting tendency? In this context, both these approaches, qualitative and quantitative, they do hold very specific and invaluable contribution in their own space. But how we are going to employ and utilize these approaches? And of course, sometimes we do employ mixed method. Even in mixed method, first we do employ qualitative, then quantitative, or we do employ first quantitative and qualitative. Or all this sort of, our frame, our position would be defined by our epistemological position. So epistemology is very, very important in our, research. And as you mentioned that both qualitative and quantitative at one stage, they do interpret the fact and reality. They would like to explore the reality, but both these approaches have their own strength as well as limitations too. Like as in qualitative, in general, quality, it means we are trying to explore meaning, which is attached with that particular, concept. Suppose, what is citizenship? What is security? What sort of meaning is attached? Suppose, what security is meant to hill and mountain peoples in Madhesh area who are residing over there, and what is security to Tarai Madhesh people who are residing in Kathmandu. So what sort of meaning is attached? If we want to, explore this attached meaning, then we do employ qualitative. But qualitative is the exploration of meaning, attached meaning. Quantitative, of course, it is the method to calculate the existence of that, reality. How it is existed, in which group, which that sort of fact and reality is existed more or less. So to a great extent, both these approaches holds quite invaluable that sort of position, and we call inductive approach. Sometimes we call deductive approach. Sometimes we do employ first generate our variables from ground level concept, which we employed in our research. So I employed this approach in my PhD dissertation. Like it's what is motivation and what sort of network motivations to join in any sort of movements in Nepal, like it's political, ethnic, Dalit, women, and political activists who are in United States or Europe. They might have different opinion. In Nepali case, we might have, we would have different that sort of reality. Then I interviewed nearly, we interviewed nearly 3 Georgians Nepali activists, in-depth interview. And based on this in-depth interview, we developed certain variables and we employed grounded theory methodology, ground level response to middle level concept, and middle level concept to high level theme. And these high level theme are certain categories, and we, surveyed, we developed these variables, and we tested with 800 Nepali activists across different regions and generations. So first, inductive, that sort of approach I employed. Then later, I employed a mixed method. And even in this critical realism, they do argue that both qualitative and quantitative, it means to some extent in metaphor, positivist and interpretivist always, they do interpret the meaning. Positivist, they do certain sort of, generate the meaning based on statistical or mathematical modeling. And mathematical modeling and interpretation, these are incomplete in each other. That's why we can employ multi-methods. They argue in this, even Roy Bhaskar has argued in this way. So in future, definitely we can discuss more. And today I will send you one book